Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm about to do a quick little reaction video about how the uh, Grand Junction, Colorado Police Department is making Facebook posts after this video went viral, praising the cops in the video. They're basically violating this guy's rights, coming up to him, handcuffing him on private property, telling him to prove that he's supposed to be there, that he's about to get arrested for trespassing when that's not even how trespassing works. The owner has to contact the police and tell them that they don't want him there, or tell them that they already asked him to leave and he's refusing, which didn't happen. But yeah, they made a Facebook post praising all at least two of the officers. The initial officer that started everything, Officer Latoya, and her supervisor. And I'm gonna show those Facebook posts after I skim through this video and show y'all kind of what it's about. I'm gonna put the link in the description below. It's from Audit The Audit. The name of it is "This Female Cop Messed Up Big Time, Massive Lawsuit Incoming." All right, let's get into it.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers trespassing, de facto arrests, and reasonable suspicion, and is brought to us by Ripple Effect Media's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve.
That's the I think that might be the guy that got arrested, his YouTube channel.
On the night of September 5th, 2023, contractor Bradley Conley was resting in a vehicle after hours in the parking lot for the Monument Valley Shopping Center in Grand Junction, Colorado, which had been vacant since 2015 and was currently under construction. Mr. Conley was working on the construction of a combined Dollar Tree and Family Dollar store, and had authorization to be on property after hours, when Officer Tafoya of the Grand Junction Police Department noticed the vehicle in the otherwise empty lot.
It's Tafoya. I think I might have said Latoya. Tafoya.
Officer Tafoya parked her cruiser and approached Mr. Conley on foot.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm building the store right now. Just watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got stuff in there then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just locked it up.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license with you?
What do I need that for?
So, I want to verify that you are supposed to be here. What kind of store are you guys working on?
How does that verify that he's supposed to be there? She's just walking up to a guy at night, asking for his ID. Be like, oh, he's up to no good. Let me see his ID. He probably has warrants. That's what's happening.
On.
We're building a family dollar.
Okay.
If you want, I can just open the door for you.
Okay.
And he told her he'd open the door to prove he's supposed to be there. He has a key to the door.
Who's a good contact?
I'm him.
What do you mean I'm him?
I'm the guy.
So, do you have any paperwork or anything? I know you might have a key. You said you could lock it up or open it up and stuff like that.
I just
Do you have?
locked it up. I just got one out of that.
But do you have like a contact number that I could verify, like who you're leasing the property from or anything like
No.
that? So I'm a little confused. Normally people don't have any problems identifying themselves.
Well,
Because I know you're doing construction from here. You told me that that's
Is that
good.
what it usually is? Nobody has any.
And she muted her body camera. I think it said for 13 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that for. I'm just letting y'all know.
Any problem?
So the other thing is it's after hours. It's kind of weird to have people even.
And she's asking him for the number for a contact to verify and all that, but it's not guilty till proven innocent. And he's on private property. Like it's not his obligation to prove that he's there. They have to prove that he's not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? You can't just walk up and be like, hey, you look suspicious. Give me your ID. You're trespassing, you know?
Construction workers to be on site at this time of day. How can I verify that you are supposed to be here besides you having a key to that place?
Take his word for it. Or investigate. It's not his job. This game was kind of fun.
I guess just come here during the day.
Well, I don't work daytimes. You don't want to give me a phone number, and you don't want to identify yourself to me.
Well, it's not that I don't want to identify you. It's just that have I committed a crime? I don't know how
So
it
yes,
works.
unless I can verify you are supposed to be here, then you are trespassing.
Is that how that works?
That's not how that works at all. The owner of the property has to tell him to leave, and if he doesn't leave, then you can call the cops. And then, or if he doesn't leave, when the owner asks him to leave or tells him to leave, at that point, it's trespassing if he doesn't leave. But no owner has contacted the police. She just saw this guy in his truck and then walked over.
So you're on private property, yes, sir?
I don't know how trespassing works.
Yep.
So if you're on private property, you're trespassing? That's the trespassing law?
Yep.
Really?
Officer Tafoya argues that unless she can verify that Mr. Conley is permitted to be in the parking lot, he is trespassing. Under Section 18-4-504 of the Colorado Revised Statutes, which is the state's third-degree criminal trespass statute, lawfully, or quote-unquote, remains unlawfully in or...
Y'all can go watch the whole video. Well, like I said, I'm going to put it in the link.
So, with
That's
light...
not what the video is about. It's just I'm so surprised they're praising these cops on their Facebook post. But and I feel like if this incident wouldn't have happened, they wouldn't have stuck their nose up and been like, yeah, these cops are doing such a great job. Like basically they're saying, no, we ain't fired them. We're not going to. That's basically what they're saying in the post. It's not what they said, but that's what they're getting at.
License and privilege unless the person defies a lawful order not to enter or remain, personally communicated to him or her by the owner of the premises or some other authorized person.
Right.
Therefore, while an establishment is open...
Everybody knows that. I don't know how, unless there's like a no trespassing sign or something like that, then I think you can be arrested without questioning or... And maybe it's not as severe of a charge as being asked to leave, though.
An individual cannot be considered to be quote-unquote trespassing in the parking lot unless they were lawfully ordered not to enter or to leave. Now, on the other hand, once the premises are closed to the public, the implied invitation to use the parking lot is typically terminated. And at that point, an individual entering the property could be doing so without the owner's consent. In other words, even though the lot is open to the public in the daytime, after hours, the owner has not extended an invitation to the public, and an individual's unconsented presence in the parking lot could be deemed
3531 Oklahoma. Is there anything
There's
in your
no
vehicle?
weapon, not one weapon
Okay.
in here, no.
Okay.
I mean you no ill will or no harm. And I don't mean any disrespect
He said, I mean, no ill will, no harm.
whatsoever, but you're not going to get my ID. I promise you that. I'm not committing a crime. I'm supposed to be here. Because,
We'll wait for my partner to get here, and we'll
Okay.
go through all of that.
what was your name?
I'm Officer Tafoya,
And your badge number?
17-8.
That was very good.
All right, Officer Dressel. So we're gonna go around to the other side. This gentleman agreed. He's gonna step out of his vehicle.
Okay.
He's refusing to.
Okay, I don't think that was their supervisor. They praised LaFoya or whatever, and then this guy right here. The body cam that they're showing right here.
Identify himself. He said he's not going to identify
What
himself.
I said was,
and that it'd be best for us
she wanted to just make
just
sure
leave.
that she was here alone.
So
Make sure that
I do have an
I
open
don't
container
want-
there. So. And he says he's not trespassing. So
She said there's an open container, but it was marijuana and they're on private property, and the charge was dropped.
Go around and...
Okay.
Okay.
So do me a favor, shut the car off.
It's in Colorado, by the way, which marijuana is legal.
Thank you.
3531 Oklahoma, okay?
You want to detain him?
Yeah.
Come on
Charles
out.
Paul Mary 496.
I'm going to put my shoes on if you don't mind. Well, just if you don't mind opening the door so I can at least see what's going on down there. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah, I see the wrench and stuff, so.
Yeah, all my tools are right inside that building too.
Okay. Oh, you got a little partner there. Hey,
Oh
buddy.
yeah, she goes everywhere I go.
Oh, young lady.
Check it out. At Planet Fitness, you can get free fitness training.
We're mixing it up.
We're not slowing down.
And like I explained to her, I have no ill will, no weapons in the car. So,
Using to identify yourself?
what have I committed a crime? I know I've asked that. Suspicious, weird activity, and there's been other officers around here.
She's not going to come out, is she?
Oh, she might. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So, sir, I am going to detain you, okay? I do need to identify yourself. You're refusing to identify yourself.
What have I committed a crime? I know I've asked that.
That's retaliation for sticking up for his rights, because you can't just handcuff someone unless they're violent, you know? Just because he's exercising his rights, she wants to put him in handcuffs.
Yep, you're trespassing, and you do have an open container in
I'm
your
on
vehicle
private
as well.
property, right?
Yep. So I do need you to go ahead and turn around and put your hands behind your back. Okay?
35 year old.
And I don't obviously consent to any search or seizure.
Do you have a wallet or anything on you?
I do not.
Okay.
There's nothing on me.
He said, I don't consent to any searches and seizures. And it sounded like a little chuckle at the end, like one of the cops. That dude cop was chuckling about it.
Once Officer Dressler arrives on the scene as backup, Officer Tafoya
Dressler, that's the other cop that they're praising in their Facebook post. Officer Dressler, which I'm going to show in a minute. I'm going to show the Facebook post. That's mainly what this video is about. But I got to give y'all some context.
quote-unquote, detains Mr. Conley in handcuffs. As the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals explained in the 2002 case of United States versus Neff, police officers are authorized to take some measures to protect themselves or maintain the status quo during a valid Terry stop, which may include the use of handcuffs when the circumstances reasonably warrant such measures. However,
Basically, he's explaining you can't just handcuff someone unless you see weapons or they're acting violent.
this become unreasonable just because police officers use handcuffs on a subject offense because it appears to lack a specific justification as required by the relevant, particularly considering the extended duration of his handcuffing we will see as the encounter continues.
And
And he was handcuffed for a long period of time, is what he's saying.
I know you said you've been previously contacted by law enforcement. Have you been contacted by law enforcement
Here.
at this address before?
Well, yeah, they stopped by all the time. Not contacted, they just came through and seen how I was
okay,
doing
okay.
when I was working.
Well, that's completely different, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Was that daytime or nighttime?
Nighttime.
Okay.
And daytime, both. But I'm not answering any more questions, and I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
And I have a campsite in Fruta up here.
So how could we...
Okay, so he wasn't even camping here. He was just chilling after work or maybe working at night because he said he has a campsite somewhere else.
mediate this
I
or
don't know.
mitigate this for
I'm
next
not
time?
talking. You can do it and say whatever you want. I'm not answering your question.
She said, how can we mitigate this? You approached him and said he's trespassing, proved that you're not trespassing now. And now he's in handcuffs.
So I would say probably in
And
the
I'm
future...
trying to be respectful to you, but
Well, it's kind of rude if you're interrupting me,
Well,
isn't
it's
it?
kind of rude that I'm in handcuffs
Yeah.
right now. You expect me to be happy? I'm not. The best thing that I told you before, the best thing you could do is just go about your way. I'm not breaking a law.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Yeah.
help you, but...
You're not helping me by handcuffing me. Are you
Can I
kidding
say
me?
something?
No, I don't want to hear
Okay.
your bull.
Okay.
If you want
You hear that? Okay, okay. That means she's about to retaliate. because he's exercising his rights.
I contact the owner of the property, go ahead. I can't tell you anything else. And yes, I know him personally. I'm building his 18,000 square foot.
So how do I get a
Dollar
hold
Tree.
of the owner?
I got his number.
Okay.
Do you?
She said, how can I get in contact with the owner while you're in handcuffs?
Can I get that from you?
Hell no.
Okay.
Get it another way, or just take my word for it. Or if nobody's made a complaint that I'm trespassing, go along your way. But
Exactly. No one's made a complaint that he's trespassing. They can't just assume you're trespassing, and they're trespassing pretty much. They ain't been told to leave, but cops are just on private property, you know what I mean?
I know one thing, you have about, what, 20 minutes? And either way, it doesn't matter to me because I've litigated before.
Whose car is this?
Sir, I don't answer questions.
I said, whose car is this? It's his.
Not yours. You're not the registered owner.
I don't answer questions, sir.
Okay, so
I haven't committed a crime.
yeah, you have.
He said, you're not the registered owner. How do you know that? You ain't got his ID yet. You ain't got his name.
What crime?
You're in a parking lot of a closed business.
Not a crime,
Nothing's
sir.
open.
Not a crime.
And you are trespassing.
Trespassing, that's not
Absolutely.
how it works, sir. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's-
With all due respect,
Go ahead.
that's not how it works. Trespassing, you got to be asked to leave if you are, and if given the opportunity to actually leave. And you should know this.
Exactly.
So a reasonable person that
May I
says,
have your name and badge?
yeah, absolutely, I'll even give you a business card. You want to just, let me speak for a second.
Articulate it. Just it's
So-
on camera. I just
Okay,
want it.
so a reasonable person who's in this situation who says, I know the owner, would say, hey, if we call this guy and he tells you that he
I'm
knows
a
me,
constitutional right advocate. You don't have the right to just come up and put me in handcuffs and demand that I ID, sir. Without due respect.
Copy. Yeah,
This
it
isn't
looks
Nazi
like
Germany.
it's not.
you're absolutely right, it's not. And a reasonable person in a situation
Can
like
I-
this
can I
who
have
says,
your name
yeah,
and
my
badge?
name is Officer Dressel,
Officer,
2017.
if you could get a supervisor out here, that'd be awesome.
So, yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay, thank you.
So
Now,
a
other than that, I don't answer questions.
reasonable
and
person-
I'm not committing a crime.
Okay.
So you're doing this all without me committing a crime. And I know the law very well. And I don't break it.
Okay.
And this ain't breaking the law. And you can't just come up and either detain or arrest. Now, if you tell me you're going to arrest me or else, other than that, I just let you go. A million times.
Well, I don't want to hear it either.
I don't
okay?
want to hear cops playing. Well, what are you going to do? I've already told you. I'll give you my name if you say you're going to arrest me if I don't. Absolutely, 100% not. Like I said, there's no reason for this. I have no ill will, no harm or nothing. You can take me back. My channel's got several officers fired. Did have
New Cantu Weightless Collection, powered by Blue Agave that locks in moisture and fights frizz.
Do you want to see how much money you're eligible for? If you were in a car crash within the last 2 years.
These are not doing anything. I'd like to be able to put a shirt on. And as a GoPro, you know that. Rats.
Which gives us, so I'm telling you what we're
Stop any person who he reasonably suspects has committed obligation. Caution in the belief that the action taken was appropriate. Officers did not have reasonable suspicion to detain an individual who was present late at night in a parking lot in an area with a history of robberies next to a closed business, who engaged in behavior similar to someone staking out a business or scanning for police and attempted to avoid contact with police. Based on this precedent,
They're explaining the Colorado state law that prohibits cops from doing this kind of stuff.
and the requirement that officers have specific and articulable facts to justify reasonable suspicion, Mr. Conley would have a strong argument that the officers did not have reasonable suspicion to.
The only thing I will do for you is I will open that building. I have the codes. This isn't reasonable. I'm not by having me in here and having me out here, and I haven't committed a crime.
It feels like these two officers are simping for old Letitia, or whatever her name is. Like, oh, do what the lady told us to do.
The only way that you are getting my ID is if you tell me, Brad, I'm going to arrest you if you don't broke the law. Give me your papers. Give me your papers. I'll tell you what. There is another way to get me. Ask me.
We're right back, Brad. Not ready to take these off me.
So we are being advised that the parking lot we're on actually has been recently developed and belongs to the church right over there. So we're getting in contact with the church owners and see if they wish to pursue any trespassing charges. The other thing too is I also have probable cause for an open marijuana container in your vehicle. And
even if the church, which I'm sure they're okay with, they got the construction workers parking there during the day to build the Dollar Tree, which I'm sure they're okay with them being there. Excuse me. But even if the church says they don't want him there, they can't just arrest him. He has to leave, you know what I mean? They can't, like, oh, the church said they didn't want you here. Oh, you're going to jail now.
we do have a city ordinance.
And then the open container, it's private property and marijuana is legal. So the charges got dropped.
There, we have a city ordinance that does not allow camping on city property or within city limits.
I'm not camping.
So, I would like to let you
He's on private property.
know that I do have probable cause for at least 2 of those 3 charges once we get a hold of the owner.
Not true.
If they choose to pursue trespassing charges, I can charge you with that as well.
No, she can't. That's not how that works. I want to hear that again.
If they wish to pursue any trespassing charges. The other thing too is I also have probable cause for an open marijuana container in your vehicle. And we do have a city ordinance.
Marijuana in my
There, we have a city ordinance that does not allow camping on city property or within city limits.
I'm not camping.
So, I would like to let you know that I do have probable cause for at least 2 of those 3 charges once we get a hold of the owner.
Not true.
If they choose to pursue trespassing charges, I can charge you with that as well.
You can trespass.
If they choose to pursue trespassing charges, I can charge you with that as well. That makes no sense at all. Only if they ask them to leave a while back. But you can't just solicit a trespass like that.
At this time, I would like to leave it up to you whether you would like to identify yourself.
See, remember when I was like, when she was like, okay, and I told y'all like that means she's about to retaliate, and now she's saying I'm gonna put all these charges on you unless you want to identify yourself still, unless you want to identify yourself now. Just hear the tone of her voice. It's like she's talking to a kid and like trying to belittle and being condescending and all that. Like, okay, I told you. You're about to go in timeout. Do you understand? Like, you didn't listen to my authority, so now I'm punishing you.
And you go on your way. That's the only way.
Are you willing to identify yourself?
There is no other answer except no.
Well, I will be charging you with open container.
I will be charging you with open container?
Charge me with.
She definitely got bullied in high school. I did too, but damn. I don't want to be no cop bullying people.
Open container.
Do you have your driver's license on you or is it in your vehicle?
So am I under arrest?
Yes.
I am under arrest?
Yes.
Okay. It's right there in my door.
And what is your first name, sir?
Bradley. Bradley. I still haven't committed a crime.
And what is your middle name?
To charge him with an open marijuana container offense and a violation of a local ordinance that prohibits camping. Now, while marijuana is legal in the state of Colorado, Section 42-4-1305.5 of the Colorado Revised Statutes prohibits a citizen from knowingly using or consuming marijuana or having open marijuana containers in their possession while in the passenger area of a motor vehicle. However, the statute explicitly states that it only applies on public highways and the rights-of-way of public highways.
Yeah.
Accordingly, it is likely that a court would find that the officers did not have probable cause to arrest or cite Mr. Conley for an open marijuana container, as he was parked in a private parking lot. As for the so-called camping offense, although Section 12.04.
And he wasn't camping. He said he even named the campsite he was staying at. He wasn't camping there.
080 of the Grand Junction Municipal Code does prohibit so-called camping without
and it was private property, like this thing says.
Authorization, and Section 12.04.
Alright, y'all can watch the video. I'm gonna skip to the summary real quick.
Mr. Conley.
I'm not sure what my corporal...
that the owner of the property wants to pursue trespassing charges against him. Although Mr. Conley was parked in front of the dollar store, the portion of the parking lot he was parked in was actually a separate parcel of land that belonged to Life Community Church. According to Officer Tafoya's police report, while Mr. Conley was detained in handcuffs, Corporal Mosier contacted a representative of the church, who indicated
Notice they didn't put the name of the person they talked to. Like, how can they talk to someone at the church that quick at night? I doubt no one was at the church because they would have talked to him in person.
indicated that he wished to pursue trespassing charges against Mr. Conley.
I'm not sure what my corporal...
And that's not even how that works. You can't... Yeah, I wish to pursue... Someone was on my I already explained it a few times. I'm gonna just go.
Told them. I wasn't with him when he called them.
You guys can't.
I wasn't with him when he called. Y'all didn't call nobody.
Since there's no complaint, you know that...
This is all retaliation for the not IDing. Not showing his ID when she illegally asked for it. Okay. Okay. When you hear a cop say that when they ask for ID, it's game over.
Get it open?
Like they realize he's right and they screwed up, so now they're just giving him a citation so they don't feel so stupid.
Alright, sir, I'm gonna have you step out of the vehicle for me. I have a summons for you.
And they're gonna, if there was no qualified immunity, they would have just let him go. They wouldn't have been putting no summons or nothing like that. I'm mostly conservative, but man, I don't believe in that qualified immunity bullcrap.
Okay.
Where would I find it?
What's that?
Where do I get it? For you? Department?
You do have to go through I think it's through our records department.
See, they were planning on arresting him, and like they realized they screwed up, or that they didn't really talk to no one at the church or something, because you could see his phone is in a plastic bag, which means they're trying to take him in. They're putting his property in evidence. But then they're like, oh crap, we gotta let him go before we screw up even more.
We are located at 555 Ute Avenue. That's where our police department is.
Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. You can't solicit a trust. Your pocket's of course it is. In the bed down in the morning and pull you every day.
He basically just said, I skipped it, but he basically said, y'all can't solicit a trespass, which is what I just explained and what the audit guy explained.
I spoke with the property owner of this property, and he does not know you.
Okay. Whatever. Yeah. Would you take the handcuffs
I don't think that he spoke to him.
off so I can get on my way?
So, Dressel, did we...
Can we get the I don't know why they didn't put that on the body cam. I mean the video of the other cop talking to the property owner. I want to see that part.
He put his property in
Got
the
your
vehicle.
phone and change them out of your pockets.
Of course it is.
In the bed of your truck.
morning and FOIA request his body.
That's probably why she muted her body camera. I skipped that part too, but I'm just trying to get to the point of the department making these Facebook posts. But that's exactly around the time when she muted the body camera. Right after that, the guy calls the church owner. And why didn't they put in the police report the name of the guy?
Everything that you said, keep them on.
They are on.
Yeah, they are.
Alright, so I'm gonna remove the handcuffs and I need you to keep your hands
I know
behind.
what to do. Quit giving me directives.
Look at this, man. She's trying to belittle him because she's all out of power. Like she's letting them go. She's like, I need you to keep your arms relaxed. Like all that bullshit.
Please, I'm not doing anything unlawful.
And I'll need you to
And he wasn't doing anything violent to get in handcuffs in the first place.
keep your hands behind your back until I tell you you can relax.
That's hilarious, dude.
I don't have to do what you say.
Alright, so now since you know you're not allowed here, I ask you to leave.
Dismissed. He also indicated that passing and the open marijuana container, the officer allowed Mr. Conley to leave. According to updates shared by Mr. Conley on his YouTube channel, he obtained legal counsel, and both charges were eventually dismissed. He also indicated that he intends to file a federal civil rights lawsuit against the officers involved. Overall, Officer Tafoya, Officer Dressler, and Corporal Mosier get an F for likely detaining Mr. Conley without reasonable suspicion, conducting an unlawful de facto arrest without probable cause by handcuffing Mr. Conley without justification, and demonstrating a deficiency of knowledge regarding both constitutional law and Colorado criminal statutes. Not only did the officers incorrectly claim to have probable cause for open marijuana container and unauthorized camping offenses when Mr. Conley was on private property, but
when it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix.
But also, as Officer Tafoya articulated to Mr. Conley, the officers all seemed to believe it was Mr. Conley's obligation to prove he was on the property lawfully, rather than the officer's responsibility to investigate and obtain reasonable articulable suspicion before detaining him. The officers then seized him for an extended period of time, in handcuffs and a tank top, despite the lack of any objective evidence suggesting a safety concern or flight risk, and ultimately cited him with two criminal charges. While Mr. Conley was on the church property, he obviously believed he was parked in the shopping center lot, and given the lack of any clear division between the lots, it was an easily understandable and correctable mistake. And I cannot even begin to understand the motivation for subjecting Mr. Conley to such treatment for peacefully sleeping in a vehicle in a parking lot. Not only was this encounter a likely violation of Mr.
Okay, he was sleeping, but still, it's private property. It's not camping.
Conley's constitutional rights, but it was a tremendous waste of department time and resources. And Mr. Conley gets an A-, because although he did demonstrate some confusion,
He got an A+ in mine.
about the Colorado trespassing laws, and could have asserted his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent more effectively, he maintained a respectful and calm demeanor throughout.
It's the right to remain silent. He can talk if he wants. That doesn't give him an A- in my eyes.
The interaction, and repeatedly refused to identify himself when he was not legally required to do so. Mr. Conley should also be commended for complying with officer commands while verbally challenging their lawfulness, sharing the interaction on his YouTube channel, fighting the charges against him in court, and pursuing accountability through a civil lawsuit after the encounter.
Alright, let's get to the main reason why I made this video. Is for this police department's Facebook post after this went viral. I'm gonna do it on my phone because I don't like logging into more than one device on Facebook unless I absolutely have to. But Alright, here it goes.
Mr.
Alright, here's the post from the police department praising Officer Tafoya. More like Officer Tafoya request. But anyway, yeah, it's wild. Like, let me see more so y'all can read the whole thing. Here's the post that the police department made about Officer Dressel. That was the second officer on scene. Let me hit see more. A 22-year Army veteran. You think the veteran cops would uphold the Constitution the most? It says someone that got pulled over by him said they had a really positive experience. These posts might be to save face, and also be like, yeah, nothing happened to them. They're still working for us. Alright, here's the corporal that showed up, the supervisor. They didn't put his name or anything. The most highest ranking out of the Three Stooges. Alright, so I just came across one more post with two of the Three Stooges in it. They're the two people closest to that suspect that are standing up. It said they responded to a report of felony menacing. How ironic. But yeah, I just wanted to share that one with y'all too. Alright, that's it for this video. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all later. Peace.